Good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another thrilling episode of Actf. Me and Bhavya are delighted to be the host for the day. Today, we will be discussing something which is prime important for the student, the National Education Policy, the NEP purpose, some sweeping change in the structure and overall quality of the current education system. So, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our stream panelists for the day. Please welcome Ms. Sunanda, a teacher at heart and a learner for life. She is the director, founder, and of NPBL Nanda Project Based Learning from Bangalore. Ma'am has been experience of working with the children for various background, culture, and a good age group. And she believes in building a strong learning foundation and enhancing the holistic movement in the children with the 21st century skills. She was one of the members of the team who submitted suggestions for NEP 2019. She has also been recognized as my NEP ambassador for the valuable contribution toward promoting the National Education Policy 2020.
Our second panelist is an educationist with 34 years of experience in teaching, mentoring, administration, curriculum design, and its implementation at various public schools located in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, and Punjab. We welcome Dr. Arunji. Dr. Arun has major qualifications like MA, B.Ed in English, and even a PhD on American literature. With 35 years of teaching experience, he has about 10 articles and 900 edits on English Wikipedia to his credit. We are glad to have him with us. As students, we are very curious. Take this discussion forward.
Good evening, everyone. So, I like Ms. Sunanda to please express some views on this education policy or your experience till now.
Our new education policy is very close to my heart, actually, because I am working very close to it, like project-based learning. So the parameters which I apply for teaching children are very much part of NEP. So I have very high hopes on NEP. It will definitely help our educators and students. You want me to explain what is NEP, like what is the structure? It's going to get.
Yeah, we'll definitely go through in this webinar through all the structures.
Okay.
So, yeah, ma'am, please.
It's definitely going to bring a thorough change in the curricular and pedagogical structure of the school education. Like it is replacing our 10 plus 2 to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. And, it has been planned according to the developmental stages of the child, keeping the age group. Like when we are talking about 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, so it's kindergarten, and like the age group is 3 to 8, different stages. So
Yeah.
we have kept in mind the child development.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you for that elaborative answer, ma'am.
Do you want me to elaborate more? Do you want me to elaborate more?
No, thank you for that. We'll come back to you. Next question is for Arun sir. Sir, since you have a teaching experience of 35 years, how challenging you think it is going to be to actually implement NEP in schools and classrooms?
This NEP, of course, is a very ambitious plan by the government to reach out to the students by 2030 to implement all the basic ideas which it has envisaged in the policy. And the points which are all there in the NEP are all very good. Whether it is related to preschooling to be included, or multilingualism, or certain skills like critical thinking or creative thinking, also to decrease the load of books for the children, or to make reforms in the exams, and also to put focus on the teacher education, how to improve the skills and knowledge of the teachers. Uh, there is also a provision for which NEP has mentioned that it would expect the state governments to increase its outlay from 4% of the GDP to 6% of GDP. So, to increase the expenses also. All these are very important features of NEP 20, and it appears to be very ambitious for the country, for the knowledge society in which India is right now, and the kind of expectations that we have as far as the policy is concerned. Wonderful policy. It has certain very important features for us all. Also, it also another important thing which I was reading was that it focuses on accessibility of education, and for that it has kept the backward districts, backward locations in mind. It puts emphasis as far as the multilingualism is concerned on mother tongue as the medium or local language as the medium, so many other features. And for that, also, it plans to promote other languages. Then, another important feature of NEP is that it has brought pre-school education in the formal education domain. Earlier, pre-education was not part of the government's, scanner, or government actually recognized education only from class one. Before that, whatever it was there before class one, preschool education, or what you call as preschool education, nursery, prep, or preparatory classes, they were not part of formal education. Right now, it has included even that, 3 years of preschool. So these are some of the features of the NEP. And they are all ambitious, very good. And NEP also has kept a target to implement and to complete it by 2030. Now, whether how far will that be possible, that we will have to wait and see. But we are quite hopeful.
Sure, sir. Thank you for that answer. Ma'am, would you like to share your views on this?
Yeah, because this is a very common question been posed on me during my training sessions. Like, when I am in the training sessions with teachers, and they often ask me, like, is it possible, ma'am, to implement it in the classroom with the strength of the students we have? Yes, it is very much possible. And yeah, then the other question, like, will we be able to complete our curriculum? You know, during this question session, we had proved into one school that the topics which they were taking, 32 classes were taken to complete a particular topic. When they followed this strategy, they could complete in 20 classes. So teachers had a lot of extra time in hand. And is it taxing to teachers? No. Big no. Is NEP expecting too much from us? No. Like, what we need to do to implement, like, yes, anything new comes in, there are challenges, but what we need to do is we need to empower our teachers with the skills, you know with the teaching strategies, and government is aware of it. NPST, he's talking about NPST, that is the National Professional Standards for Teachers. CPD, continuous professional development, which will keep teachers on par. And what we need to do is just come out from conformity to creativity. We need to think out of the box. and the empowered teachers, they will play a very important role to transform our India into a knowledge-based economy. So the challenges, no challenges, that is the biggest fear. We need to take it out. We just need to come out from conformity to creativity, think out of the box, and follow the parameters what the NEP has, like child-centric classrooms, and a holistic development of the child, Indian values, beliefs, we just need to follow that. Because I have experience, it's tried and tested by me. That's the reason I'm able to tell you with a lot of confidence that yes, any new thing coming will definitely have challenges, but not so much how there's a fear in the people, the parents, the educators.
Definitely, ma'am. No doubt that NAP is a huge victory for all of us, for the student and as well as for the teachers. We're hoping for the best execution and hoping for the best. So my next question will be from you, ma'am. This is really positive for all of us, but what is the core history behind this change? What is the whole overall process?
The
Can you please can
background.
you please
Like when you say core history means why we have come up by this new NEP policy, need of the NEP policy.
yeah, yeah.
Um, See, this is if you ask educators, they are very positive about it. It's a long waited reform in the education sector. It was definitely required for the developmental needs and interest of the students across, from the 3 years old child to the graduation, post graduation, and it was required. We definitely needed the change in the teaching style, teaching style to be aligned to the learning style of children, where children are learning skills. It can be any skills. It can be your vocational skills and your 4Cs, which talks about the conceptual understanding, collaboration, then your communication, creativity, which is a very part of day-to-day life.
Yeah, definitely.
It is part of day-to-day life, and these skills are required. So this is the need of the hour. It is the need of the hour. I think it's my view, it's that's the reason, that's a core thought behind
I guess
the development of the country, taking it to a knowledge-based economy.
as a student, I also like to say, like, we need to move work more on emotional intelligence also. Like, we always think about like marks, okay, like marks, assignments, essays, but we never talk about that emotional intelligence which we all need in day to day life, which we already said about it. So I really believe this. We need to
Yes,
work on this.
all emotions will be taken care if, NEP is put in place.
Yeah, right.
If it is implemented with the lot of
Definitely. Yeah,
dedication and hard work and honesty,
true.
it will definitely help your generation, the young children, definitely.
Yes, ma'am, agree with you. We have some questions from the audience. I would like if you could answer that. Sir, it's the question is for you. It's by Vivek Shankar. He asks, how difficult will it be for students to have a role models since they won't have seniors who went through a different 10 plus 2 structure?
I don't think there is any problem as far as the role models are concerned. That has nothing to do with the national education policy. You will have role models otherwise also. I don't think NEP is going to change anything by which role models will not be there. I think. What do you mean by that? Role models.
I think he means to say since students now will no more have a senior to look up to or take guidance from. In that terms, maybe he
See,
means.
I will like to tell to
This
Vivek
is by
Shankar,
Akansha Mishra. She asks
Akank,
how
huh,
NEP can affect employability in future.
Okay. See,
oh,
I would like to tell, if you allow me, NEP NEP has one of the objectives to put focus on vocational education, as you can see. So earlier, our teaching and our curriculum was more academic focused. It was focused more on academics, on learning of the subjects, on acquiring knowledge. This has put a little focus on acquiring the skills also. And if you just have knowledge and you don't have the skills, you find it difficult to get jobs. Skill based education will make it more employable. So I think vocational education puts focus on skill based education, and that will lead to employability, I think. So that will make it more employable.
Definitely, sir. Ma'am, your thoughts?
yeah, same what sir said that there is vocational training is the part of our NEP, so that will definitely develop the life skills for the children, which will help them to get jobs. And also, it's not only the vocational training; it's also the knowledge based education. So both are going hand in hand.
Another important thing I would like to draw, I'll give you the examples, in fact. Earlier, we were taught, say, economics, and we are being taught economics. These children are being taught economics. They would learn what is economics, what is Indian economics, and all such things, all different topics associated with the subject. But they may not be knowing what is the distress of the farmers, what is the data for the joblessness, how many people are unemployed, they may not be aware uh, they whether how many people lost their jobs in the pandemic. So how to relate the subject to the daily life, to the life around us, that is important. So probably NEP has one of the objectives of NEP is this also, that it will relate subjects to life, to the environment around yourself. And so you would be more equipped. You would have whatever you read, you relate that to life through activities and through various other things. Another important thing that they will acquire would be critical thinking. Rote learning will have less importance, and you will learn to distinguish between what is the right thing and what is the not right. I mean, critically, you would be able to examine what is the right kind of information, what is misinformation, and which is very important these days. Information or knowledge is not the issue; is available at the click of a button. But whether which information is useful for me, for the society, and which one is not useful for us, for the society, for the nation, for the world, that is important. We may be studying about pollution, but we don't know whether how we are getting polluted. I mean, in the our area is getting polluted, so that is an issue. So all these things probably are, in fact, they are all there in the NEP if it is implemented properly. Of course, NEP is a statement which has been made by the government. Any policy is a statement. It provides you the guidelines. The actual thing will be able to you would be able to see, or we all would be able to see only when it gets implemented. All the support that the government requires to give, everything that is to be implemented in the, so it gives the direction, so direction seems to be right.
Yeah, that is true, sir. So considering all your point, whatever you said, I like to add, sir, don't you think we as a youth are always following bhed chal wali cheez? We are not using our
Agreed.
intellect. Right.
I agree.
Another thing I like to say that just before few day before I just googling and I see the Google trend that top 10 searches every day. In that top 10, the two is for government exams. Like we need to worry about this. We need few jobs, but government having one job for one person. But all over the world, we are just practicing for that one single job. So we need to understand this is a large employer for the word is inefficiency. What do you think?
I agree with you. See, the space for government jobs is shrinking day by day. And
Yeah,
the government is right now, and in fact, the world over, government is withdrawing from the space of work, from providing services or from making things, and it is giving space to the private sector. So naturally, the jobs should be more in private sector, but we are being guided by that mindset that we have in the society, which is very deep rooted, that government jobs are better, and you just get money there, and you don't have to work, or you have to work less. The uh, that whatever it may be, that mindset is there, but the jobs are also becoming less. But that mindset persists, and people still are working for that. You have say 1000 jobs, and people are 10 lakhs, and even that number increases, and then that 1000 becoming 800. Even then the applicants are the same. So the ratio between jobs and between the applicants is very wide, and that is all because we don't understand uh, why we should move away from this, and we still think that somebody has moved my cheese. There's a book by a
yeah, sir.
famous
I've
author,
read that.
who moved my cheese, and we all think that somebody has moved the cheese. That is not the case. We have to find out where my cheese is. It's not that somebody has moved. Maybe the situation has created that. So, yes, it is not just that the government will do everything. We also have to change our mindsets. Probably government has to help us change our mindsets. There, in that direction, the government should be doing. It should create awareness among the people and all such things.
True, true.
um, that's what the government doesn't want, that bhed child. Each child is unique, and they want every child to blossom. That's the reason they are coming up with so many different strategies, and they want teachers to be trained, and and then that will give the capability and ability to the students, like what exactly they want. They will not follow others, they will follow their own path. And this will have great impact on the personality of students, because each child would have decided his or her path according to his or her interest. They might select the vocational training as per their interest, and when the teaching style also, so there will be a better conceptual understanding, and children will be very independent learners, they will be very confident, there will be a holistic development of the child. So each child will be able to think independently for himself or herself.
I would
So,
come back to sorry for the interruption.
then,
Uh, right, I would come back to your previous question. That was what are the background in which this change has come? This NEP has been introduced, and I think the background is there, and we are already late in that. In the sense, see, I'll take you to the background of 50 years back. What was there in our country? 50 years back in our country was an aggregate, it has been an agri based economy, agriculture based economy. And when we were students, we was thinking that 70% of the people were engaged in agriculture. We had read at that time that must have decreased, and all such things must have happened. Industries came, though it came, they came slowly. Now, if we keep on depending more and more on agriculture only, agriculture will not be able to give employment. So we have to think how to move to the other fields, other industries also. That is one aspect. The other aspect is that when you had, we had the rote learning earlier. Why was rote learning more important at that time? Can you think of? Because for things like agriculture, I'll take you to 100 years back or 200 years back. Whether agriculture or other industries also, if they existed, the skills and the knowledge that were there, they were being transferred from generation to generation by learning by rote only. By rote only they used to do that, by learning by heart. And if you go 200 years back, books were not there. Printing industry was not there. Print industry came much later. So everything used to happen orally. We used to transfer knowledge orally only. And that is the reason oral learning, rote learning was important. And we have a very strong tradition of oral learning. And we should not say that it's wrong or it's not correct. But the importance of oral learning, the importance of rote learning now should be decreasing. When we are in this age of information, the age of the smartphones, even before 2015, you had more of computers and the smartphones were not there. Now, with the smartphones coming, each of you, like you are a young person, you would have a smartphone. You have everything in your pocket. Whatever you want to see, you can just switch on and you can see through Google or whatever. But would you be able to see everything on Google? Would everybody able to see through Google also? No, because a lot of trash also you can see on Google. If you don't know how to Google, you won't be able to see. We won't be able to see. So for that also, Googling also, we need the skill. We, in order to get the right information, we need the skill. We need the skill of critical thinking. We need the skill of distinguishing between what is the right information and what is not suitable for me. So information is not the key now, is not the issue now. The issue is how to distinguish what is the right information, what is the suitable information. So how to critically examine that. And there is no need of learning by rote, learning by heart, because everything is there now. So it was already required, and it was required many years back. So we are already late in that. So that way NEP has provided so many other things, like how to equip the learners with skills, with knowledge, and how to decrease the load of books, load of exams, and how to allow them to develop their personality holistically, and so many other things. And also it plans to equip the teachers with teacher education, and it also wants to reach out to the students in the remote areas and remote locations. So it has certain ambitious plans, and it is useful, no doubt. It has made certain very important, significant statements as a policy.
Very true, sir. As a management student, I can totally agree to that. Uh, we have a lot of questions in the view chat box. I'll read out some for you. The next question is by Sai Guhan. Can you comment about 5 plus 3 model? Don't you think putting kids aged 10 and 11 under such pressure when they give such exams?
5 plus 3 model, I am not able to understand, because it's 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So, which three they see indicates actually five is foundational, 3 years of preschool, what you call as, and 2 years of class one and two, and then that is five. And then so what is the question? Can you repeat the question?
So the question is about, yeah, sure, sir. The question is about the pressure on the young students of clearing the exams.
Actually, pressure it has reduced. Actually, ma'am will like to answer, but pressure has been reduced. Even the number of exams has been made less, and also credit system is being introduced. Not just that the academic subjects will be tested, but also your other activities will be tested. The difference between curricular and co-curricular activities, they have been merged and the barriers have been removed. So I think the pressure has been decreased as far as the policy is concerned. As whether what exactly will happen, it will depend on the teachers and the schools, and further the government to monitor and all that. So all these will decide and determine the future, actually results in future. But the course has been set and the course seems to be right, and it is going in the right direction. And the pressure, as far as the pressure is concerned, the aim is to reduce the pressure, not to increase.
Actually, there are no burden of exam. Like children will be assessed on their assignments. So, what they're talking about is formative assessment. So whatever assignments they are doing, projects they are doing, all those, so there will be gradually they will be assessed. There is not how we have now final exams and all. No, there's a formative assessment which will be there. So that will definitely reduce the burden of exams.
I agree with ma'am partly in the sense that uh, there would be pressure. The pressure would be less. What I want to say is
Yes.
that to say that there won't be any pressure would not be correct. But the attempt has been made to decrease the pressure through the policy statement.
Yes, by
So
bringing
what
in formative assessment.
well, through the formative assessment,
Yes.
by actually also they have mentioned that every year exam will not be there. There'll be exam in particular classes like 3 and then 5 and certain other things. So, and then formative credit based system will be there, formative assessment will be there, and so that way the pressure should be less. I don't know, you too must have undergone those formative assessment system. I think you can tell better. Did you go through that?
Uh,
If you have
you are
been through,
asking whom? You are asking me?
I'm asking the no, I'm asking the those who are asking questions. Actually, the young ladies.
Yes, Bhavya and
Yeah,
Kartiki.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
did you do CBSE schools? And
Yes,
Yes,
if you
sir.
sir.
did that, then did you go through that formative assessment and then, what is that, 10 point and then 9 point, and all the results used to be like that. 10 pointers
Yeah.
were there, then 9 pointers, 8 pointers, like that. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yes,
UGPA
we
system.
do.
So
Yeah, see.
I think in a way, the answer of the first question, one child had asked whether who will be the role models. So, so the role models, the previous changes which were made by the previous government had many things which were similar. I think so. Many things similar. Of course, there are many other things which have been added also. I am not thinking so. There should not be any problem. Basically, there is a change from marks based system to the grade system also. I think it should be,
Yes,
and
sir.
that is another
Agreed with this.
assessment.
There are a lot of questions.
Yeah, right.
The question is by Rajesh. Are our schools competing to train the teachers for this new change in imparting knowledge?
The government has the government is taking the responsibility. In NEP, it is there, like, there will be continuous professional development of teachers, and this will definitely nurture them with their teaching skills and new strategies, which will help them to implement these strategies in the classroom. So, like, the teachers will undergo the training. And then over the years, they are also talking about national professional standards for teachers. So they will be setting up the standard for the teachers. That will be later part. But presently, it will be like continuous professional development for teachers and principals, which will train them how to implement NEP, how to have a child-centric classroom, and what all strategies to be followed. All that is the part of NEP. So you don't have to worry for that.
Coming back to the question, his question is: are the schools providing the needful training to the teachers? Am I right?
Are your schools competent to train the teachers for the new?
Competent to, is that the question? Are the
Yes.
schools competent to? So the answer is very short and simple. I think the schools are competent. In fact, that is the answer. That is the answer. But yes, going beyond that, I can only say that the government has become very conscious of training these days, because even CBSE, I'll give you the example of CBSE. CBSE is more focused on training, and it has been doing that for the last few years, very focused, and it is making it mandatory for the schools to attend a large number of trainings. It has modules and schedules for the teachers training, and it is going to, so now what will happen after the policy, it will be more strict, and it will create certain criteria and guidelines by which it will monitor which school and which teacher and which subject and how many training sessions they have attended, and all these things should be monitored. Another important thing, the NEP, as I had been reading, is the 4-year course for teachers will be there, of education, and there would be centralized exams for teachers. So teachers' competence and teachers' skills will be ensured before appointment, and after appointment, ongoing professional development will keep on happening. And that, I think, should add value to the quality of education through NEP, as far as I understand.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Right. So my next question from the audience will be for Ms. Sumanda. So, ma'am, Hitesh is asking, while English is a second language for their mother tongue, has become need and burden for many students in India. So, how can boosting multilingual be helpful for them?
What is it? While English, the second language from their mother tongue, has become a need and burden for many students in India. Can you explain me the question? How can the boosting see, like, I think he's talking about the mother tongue, right? The teaching of the students in their mother tongue. Now, that is for the smaller kids, like not for the initially, it has been proved scientifically also. Then that the child performs better if he goes through, uh, he's trained through the mother tongue. Okay, and I think schools will find out. They will definitely figure out. I will request sir to throw some light on this. Like, schools will definitely come out with some strategies, and they must have definitely thought about it, how it is. But definitely, it is for the smaller kids, not for the graduates or undergraduates, and Sir, Arun
Ye-
sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, multilingualism is an important feature of NEP. And I don't see anything different in this because even earlier we used to have a three language formula. And for a country like India, I'll ask you, we all know that in a country like India, you have people who know at least two languages. We all know minimum two languages or more than that also. If you include the dialects, then more than that, because even in one language, you have many dialects. So coming back to multilingualism, it is the need for a country like ours that we need to know more than one language, two or three. And of course, earlier also it was a three language formula. So government wanted us to learn three languages, and something similar is here also. The only difference which has been made in this is that they have mentioned that the medium of instruction up to a certain class will be either the mother tongue or the the home language or the regional language or the local language, something like that it is. But that also, uh, it's not very clear which is the mother language, because I find that even English is becoming the mother, home language of many children in the metros. I have observed that. So, and of course it has given a lot of windows. It has said that in case in a class there are some children who are unable to understand one medium, then the other medium can be used, and it depends on how much of one medium and how much of the other medium, and that should be left to the wisdom of the teacher and the school. So so if that is so, then I don't see there is any change in the medium, because what will happen, it will again depend on what the parents want, what the children want. If the parents want a particular language as the medium, the government is not saying that you don't have. Government has given a lot of windows for all the different languages to be the medium. In fact, to my mind, it's very there's a lot of confusion if it says mother tongue. There are various. I'm looking at various other angles. So mother tongue to be the medium. So what do you mean by mother tongue? What does government mean by mother tongue? Mother tongue means, if I take Hindi itself, Hindi has various dialects and they are the mother tongue. If you talk about UP, then you have Awadhi, you have Bhojpuri, you have in Bihar, you have other languages like Maghi, then Mathili. There must be other dialects even in Bengali, even in Marathi and all. So there would be differences because we know कोस कोस पर बदले पानी चार कोस पर वाणी. Right. So mother tongue changes after every few miles, in fact. But anyway, so what does the government mean by mother tongue? And what does it mean? So there certain languages spoken or used by certain number of people, they will be considered as mother tongue, or any language would be a mother tongue, or in that case, let us take the example of 22 languages in the 8th schedule. I'm just telling you, there are 22 languages. So that means each of them can be the medium. Because if you take only the 22 language, they are recognized by the government, forget the mother tongue. So if all of them can be allowed, are allowed according to this, if they are allowed, then are the resources available in these languages? Are the books available in these languages? If not, then which language to go to again? All these questions will, because of course the government in the policy says that yes, in the mother tongue, in the regional languages, we will increase the resources, we will create more books, we will help in creating more books. But it will create, when will it create? By when will it be ready? And ultimately it will come to demand only. How many people want in which language? If there are no takers in any language, if the takers are in X language only, Y language only, then the resources
Absolutely, sir.
would be available in
That
X and Y only. So so government has not made it clear. Is Things are not very clear, and so you can take any window. The parents can take any window, and in fact, the schools will take also the windows. So I mean, I I don't know. Whatever is
absolutely,
there,
sir. So
whatever is
that's
there will remain.
absolutely, sir. This is the extension of such a valid point, sir. So my next question will be from you, from our audience. This question is from Jayant Aluwalia. Do you think that NEPs also become one of those policies that is just stay on the paper?
Any policy is on the paper only. It comes out from the paper and it starts walking only when it is implemented. Policy is
So,
there in the paper only. It's only a statement. Policy gives you the guidelines, and it is for the government. In fact, then once it is implemented, and once people start using it, only then we would be able to see the impact. As far as the topic today is the impact of NEP, no, so impact would be visible only after a few years. Right now, it is only on paper. It will start walking and running and reaching its destination only after a few years. He is
so
right.
sir,
It's one.
yeah. So, sir, how, according to you, how much year will it take? Like 5 year, 10 year, or more than that?
In 3 4, see, if I look at the previous change which was made by the government, the previous government, about the formative assessment and the grade system and all such things, you recall that. And I think two of you, at least one of you or both of you, are the user. You have experienced those things. At least you have seen, you have heard about them.
Yeah, yeah,
So you remember the changes and the pros and cons also. There were certain things like which were not good also. There were certain things which were good also. So it took about 2 3 years even then, and it will take more, not less than 3 4 years.
yeah, definitely, sir.
So there's a lot of questions coming in. This question is for you, Bam. On children having a chance to have a holistic education under this new format, is there mandate from the government to the schools to offer a minimum number of vocational course? Nidhi has asked this question.
Yes, see, there is a vocational training, and the NEP, it is mentioned that sixth standard onwards, the students will go through the vocational training, and according to me, like there are the in government we already have the provision of Atal tinkering labs in schools across the country. So such vocational training labs can be set in the schools, and the schools can have a very well planned internship calendars and all, and children can choose their vocational courses and be the part of it. And then NEP also talks about the internship. So these children, once they are working in the vocational labs in the schools, they will be going for the internships. So now internships, like local schools can tie up with the local industries, and the association of schools, they can tie up with the industry leaders. Like I would like to explain this with the example, like if a child takes up automobile as a vocational training, then the child will definitely have it in the vocational lab, and then the school can tie up with the local around the school to for the internship, and then the association of schools can tie up with the industry leaders like your Tata, Toyota, Bajaj, Maruti, so the child gets a good exposure. So he
I would
is
like to.
learning in the vocational labs and then going for the internships. Um, that is my understanding of
Okay.
vocational
I,
training and internships being a part of NEP.
should I add a little bit to what ma'am has
Yeah.
said?
Yes.
Actually, the question was, will there be a minimum number for the students? If there should be a minimum number of students for choosing one particular vocational course. That is the question. Something like that it was.
Is there
Which
mandate
so
for the
I'll come back to this. See, vocational courses. I don't know exactly, but I'm just assuming if there are say 20, 30 vocational courses class wise. Right now I'm not very clear, I'm not very aware of what is the list of vocational courses, and for which class, which course, and all that. That I'm not aware, but I'm just assuming. Of course, right now also vocational courses are there, humanities based, then science based, then commerce based. Vocational courses are there, but will there be a particular number required, or will it be required for the students, and for the students to be given or taken, or for the students to choose the vocational course? Yes, the government will only set the guideline that in a particular class, say if a child is studying, he or she will have to take at one vocational course or two vocational courses, whatever,
one?
and certain types of vocational courses. And there would be more options. Whether which vocational course would be given by or taken by the student or given by the school will depend on, demand and supply. How many students would be interested in which course, and accordingly the school will give. If there are no takers of a particular course, the school will only make sure that for each class there would be, say, two vocational courses or three vocational courses. That is there. But which one would the school give? Because that will decide how, whether what teachers they have or what teachers they will require. So it will depend on the takers. It will depend on the number of students choosing a particular course, and then the school will decide. Okay, we have these many students, then we'll go for the teacher of this course. Right. So there will be a demand and supply thing there, just as you have in class 11 and 12 even now. How many sections in science? How many sections in commerce? How many sections in humanities? Which stream has less sections? You know that, no? Right now,
Yes, as they
humanities.
are introducing.
Humanities has less. So can the school have more sections, more teachers in humanities? No. More teachers in science, yes, more teachers in commerce. So it depends on how many students are there in a particular course, particular subject, and then the number of teachers. Only minimum number, the government will set or decide, and accordingly a minimum number of vocational courses, and it will have a set of courses you have to choose, and then the school will provide. I think that is what it is.
Understood, sir. That
Sir,
completely
I think
answers
there's
the
a lack.
question.
There is no clarity actually that okay, each school how many vocational courses will be there and all, like, but
That will
definitely,
that will come. That will
yeah,
come from
that
the
will
government.
come.
That will come
Yes,
from the
and
government.
each child can have only one vocational course. He can enroll himself or herself for one vocational course.
No, but
But
then,
how
madam,
many?
let me ask you: if there are 20 students in class 6, and they have to take one course, and government has given you a set of 20 courses, and each child says that I want A, the second number two child will say I want B, then and all the 20 want 20 different courses. Will the school be able to give? No. The
That is the
school will
schools.
the
Depends
school
on
will
the
say
schools.
that, see, the maximum number of children, they are choosing this course, so we will have a teacher from this and we'll provide you this. So
No,
Yes,
because
sir.
there
there
should be
are
a
some
number,
schools.
minimum.
there are some schools which have only one student for Spanish language, but they have made arrangements. So
So
it
it all
depends
depends.
upon the
It all,
schools.
a school also. Yeah, it depends on
Yeah,
the
it
school
depends
also.
upon the school because I have seen so many schools, though they have less number of students. I know one school which has only one child for Spanish language, and they have provided that facility to the. So
So
this will
such
definitely be on the
such
depending on.
great schools should be there,
Yeah,
because it will not be sustainable to have one teacher for one child. If there are schools, there would be less in number. What I am saying is that, because every school will not be able to provide one teacher, because it will not be sustainable.
Yes, sir.
Because
It will
you have
depend from school to school basis. And we
yeah.
have
yeah,
more questions
The
coming up.
schools will have to take the call for that.
yeah.
So, Kartiki, can you read out
Can
the
we?
next question?
Yeah. Okay. So, sir, my next question will be from the Hemant Kumar. Do you think that introduction of programming at such an early stage will help for the student and to put some more pressure in the academics? Do you think this is the right decision for putting programming language in such an early age?
See, it will be a pressure if it is a burden, and if it is not enjoyable. If it is enjoyable, then it will not be pressure. So it's the answer is there in that. If the children enjoy, and it is compulsory for, and no, it is not, if it is compulsory and then they find it boring and they are not enjoying, then it will be pressure. It has both. It has two sides of the same coin. Any subject will be boring, and it
Yeah.
will be a pressure. If it is
Sir, do you
interesting,
think that yeah? So, sir, do you think that we are moving ahead towards entrepreneurial mindset?
yeah, yes, that is what our prime minister says. We have to become Atmanirbhar.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
So, adding on to that question, there's a question by Chandramouli. Should should ethics be introduced as part of a curriculum in the early years for professional courses like medicine? She thinks it should be mandatory. What about the early years of students? Should it be included as in the curriculum?
It's a very good question. Ethics word is a little different from value education, but yes, value education is a broad term that includes ethics also. Ethics is, something which is related to professionalism and to do good or something. I mean, I don't see much difference. Ethics is included right from class one, right from foundational stage only. That, honesty is good, depending upon the class, which value for which class. So ethics is already there in the form of value
Mentioned
education.
NP also. They have
Yes,
again
ma'am.
emphasized. They have again emphasized in NEP also, like that the NEP talks about your knowledge, skills, values, beliefs. Indian centric knowledge. So their ethics definitely comes in, and they want to emphasize on that. And
Right.
from the early education.
Right. So, see, this is a very interesting question as far as ethics is concerned. I'll take ethics as a part of value education. But
Yes.
the question is not whether ethics or value education will be there. The question is how will it be taught? That is important.
yeah.
There
Sir,
are
I'd like
many
to add
things.
one. Yeah, can I add one more thing?
Hmm.
Sir, like as an engineering student, we are also having that value based education system. We are having one subject, human values, named as human values. We learned that subject, but not as a practical subject, only for gaining marks. So I think this is not a good thing for us. Like value based education is something which you can inculcate in your own life. You do something, you grow your respect your elders or your emotional intelligence or whatever aspect you're talking about. But it's only about in college. It's only about marks. Like, you have to learn that subject and to gain marks. That's it.
Hmm.
That's true, Kartiki. So
So,
I think we
Kartiki, that's what the our new education policy talks about: mastering the subject and not for the test score. The education is for mastering the subject, not for the test score. So what you were sharing is like you did for the marks. So again, it talks about that new
Okay,
Yes,
education.
ma'am.
I'll give you one
Yes.
example. I think the aim of education should be to help a child acquire values, skills, and knowledge.
Yes.
And I have given you all the three, but I have put values as the number one. In my opinion, values comes first. Why should values come first? I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. What are values? First of all, let us look at that. Values are, simple: honesty, truth, your concern for environment, or helping others, cooperation, doing for the not telling lies, and so many other things which are there and which are there ingrained in our life, and we already know them. Whatever we understand what is good and what is not good. That difference that we need to understand, and once we understand that, we know what is the value involved in that. I'll give you an example of a person who is an engineer at a very good position, and he is in charge of building a bridge. A bridge is being made, and an engineer is an in charge. The engineer has passed out from a very good college and IITs, maybe supposing an IIT, and he was a bright student, a wonderful student, and he has the knowledge and skills, all the knowledge and the skills which are required for getting a bridge built. Now, will the bridge be built the way it should be built, and the proper bridge will be built because of just the knowledge and the skills, or his honesty also, his commitment also?
Of course, sir.
And
So
if he is not committed, if he is not honest, then in spite of the knowledge, in spite of his skills, the bridge may not be as strong. We know that because of his dishonesty. So
true, sir.
honesty comes first there, then the skills
Yeah,
and knowledge. And skills and knowledge can be improved, and but values cannot be improved later. They can be imbibed only in the childhood. How to do
agree with
that,
you, sir.
how the schools can do that, is a different question that we can
Yes, sir.
discuss also. Yes.
Yes, sir. So I think we've overshooten the time limit. Although there's one last question from our side, which we would like to ask. Uh, it's about the future of our young minds. I would like to ask both of you your final thoughts on where do you see our young minds in the next 10 years? And will this NEP change their headspace?
Should I say?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. See, our NEP, as have been as shared previously also, that it talks about knowledge and skills. Knowledge and skills are going hand in hand, and it leads to the holistic development of the child. So, what is it actually NEP trying to do? They are trying to prepare our students for the industry that does not exist now. Like 80% of the jobs which are there today will not exist by 2030. And the job seekers are already in the school. So, with this NEP being implemented in schools and classes, is preparing students for the industries that does not exist. How? With the help of the skills, the vocational training. So this is how I see our students from 10 years from now. They would have developed the skills, they would have mastered the subject, and they are ready for the future world.
Yeah, so yes, I agree with ma'am. NEP's aim is to prepare the children for the future, to make them future ready.
Yes.
And one of the important things that all the children need to acquire would be to become lifelong learners, because the jobs that we have today will not be there, we know that, and what new things are going to come we don't know. So unless we keep on learning new things every day, every month, every year, every new thing, every now and then, we would not be able to survive in this changing world that we see today, and which will come in the future, in the coming years, in 10 years from now or 20 years from now, etc.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely, sir. So one more thing which is striking my head is that simple way of to be curious. Like I just read before 2 day before in Israel, the mother simply asked their child, like 5 to 6 year child, like what you have learned from the school. What is most curious question you've asked to your teacher? So it is like very simple question, very simple ritual, but this is creating a pattern for the student and for the teachers to learn new things, to be curious for new things, and ask the curiosity of asking more questions like why this, why that, which is very very important for every single person to for growth, for personal growth, and that definitely bring the brighter future for our generation.
Yes. Yes. Interactive sessions in the class. When we are
Yeah.
telling child centric classrooms, we are having interactive sessions. And that will make, arouse curiosity in students, and it will make them independent learners. And as Sir said, that, they will develop the skill for being learning lifelong. They will develop that skill.
Yeah. So with this note, we'll like to wrap up our webinar. This is really a great, important webinar till now we've experienced. This is you both give such information for us and for our audience. So I remember this what Swami Vivekanand said: the good economy, a good nation is the one who allows people to choose their vocation and their way to earn money. So with such a beautiful message with the new education system, before concluding this beautiful message for our guardians, never limit your children to your knowledge because they are born in a different era. Keep your minds open. Never limit your child because of your future of your past. So make a change. Don't go back to the past. Let children discover their own future. Support their in their future and make change. Second important thing, enjoy the journey. Don't make it stressful. Definitely change going to happen, but it will be definitely a positive change from all our side. So this is a big victory for all of us. So one more important thing I like to say, be a leader. Don't be a follower. This NAP is a way to create a leader in India. Be the leader of your life and create change in the world. Be the infinity. So I like to thank from our whole team to both our panelists. You both are amazing. We had such an amazing webinar. So thank you for being with us, and we'll definitely catch you soon in the next webinar. To all our audience, you can also comment your opinions, your views, and suggestion for next webinar. So till then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel. For more information, you can contact us on our toll-free number 1-800-258-2558. Along with, you can visit our website actforce.org, and we'll meet you in our next webinar. Till then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe again, and visit our website, our social media handles: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Till then, bye bye. Have a great day.
Kartiki,
Thank you.
before you end, I would like to give one message to my dear students and educators and all the citizens, that we all need to learn and accept that reskilling will be the part of our life in coming years. So let's all join hands together to make our NEP a great success. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
such a
Thank
great
you, sir.
message from you, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kartiki, and thank you, Act Force, for giving us an opportunity. Thank you.
Ma'am, it's a privilege to have you.